Because remember, because we're simple according to you, right? According to your elitism and classism, because classism is a very real thing in the black community too. Classism is a real thing in every community, so it's not just a black community, but we do have classism, okay, and elitism. We have that, and I detest that because I don't like when people use and let me say this with balance, because I don't want people to think I'm against education, because I'm not. I believe in education. I believe the more educated we are, the more successful we can become. People fought for us to be educated, so I support education completely. I'm hard on, my daughter. I make sure that she has a certain level of education, and everything. Why? Because I believe in it. If I didn't believe in it, that I wouldn't go there. But when you hear me go against education, it's not education, it's against the people that have the attitude like Boulay and his gang over there, that because I have this degree that I am better than them or I know more than them. You don't know more than God. You're not greater than Jesus. So stop. Stop. Because they got people, they got plenty of degrees and can't even get a job. They can't even get a McDonald's job with a degree these days. So please don't go there that you're so much better. At one point in time, the degree would get you a lot. Yes, statistically, they still say people with degrees still make more money statistically, but a lot of that's changing every day, because you got a lot of people who don't have a degree and getting online and riding out and making good money. Some people making more money than doctors and lawyers on these platforms. Yes, they are. Okay? Now, with that being said, about Kamala Harris, transactional voting, and I didn't know, Kamala, that we should have permission. I guess you're giving us permission. Well, I thank you, Kamala. I didn't know, we got your blessing like that. But since you're talking about transactional voting, I noticed something. Why didn't you go into what the transaction should be, though? That's the only question I have. And if I were to interview Kamala, I would be speaking to her about that transaction. So if she would want the black vote, right? What are you willing to give black people to say, you know what, I'm going to give black people this because I need the black vote so I can win the primary. I need the black vote so I can become president of the United States. What are you going to give black people? Because with me, when it comes to politics, I don't have no permanent friends. I don't have no permanent enemies. I have permanent interest. And my permanent interest is black people, okay? If a Republican is going to give us with the transaction that we need, I'll go with them. If a Democrat's going to give us a transaction we need, we'll go with them. If a third party is going to give us a transaction we need, we'll go with them. If nobody want to give us anything, then we go with the couch. It's just that simple. Transactional voting is not really that hard to figure out. Just like today, a lot of people who's dating, is a lot of transactional dating now, right? And a lot of men talk about this. You hear the videos online. Is that, is all, you got to pay this, pay that. If you're not going to pay this and pay that, you're not going to have access to the woman. It's a lot of transactional stuff. Well, the same way they approach dating, you got to approach voting times 1,000. Just like in Texas, James Tallarico, he's going to find out the hard way what happens when you don't approach black people at all. See, the day of not approaching black people are over. You're going to have to bring something to the table. And Kamala was right. You cannot use the Edmund Pettus Bridge. She's right. We've been saying that. But she gets listening to us talk, because that has not been our reality. We didn't go through the Edmund Pettus Bridge. We didn't go through what they went through in Selma. We didn't. We are the grandchildren of those who went through that. And we live a different reality than what our grandmothers and grandfathers went through in the civil rights movement. We're so far removed from it. We have a different fight in America today. Way different fight than what our grandmothers and grandfathers had. So yes, the Edmund Pettus Bridge is definitely something in our history. And we definitely, I appreciate our grandmothers and grandfathers for taking on that fight. Because if they didn't take on that fight, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I greatly appreciate them for that. But now we got to continue the work of our grandmothers and grandfathers and go on and get to the finish line. And because anything less than reparations and everything else that we need, we're not getting to the finish line at all. We're still playing games. Some people say, well, why the civil rights movement didn't do this and do that? Well, you know what? They fought in their era. They wanted to rest, right? They got to the point they wanted to rest. They didn't want to fight no more. I can understand it. It's our turn to get just due for Black America. And then we can maybe do the same thing like them, take a rest, and then let the next generation do what they got to do. Because you can't constantly perpetual fight anyway. It gets old. You say leave her and Dougie alone. I don't know what that means. Her and Doug. But with that being said, Doug, next, hey, we coming up on very quick the Ohio Black Expo. We're coming up on the Ohio Black Expo. Make sure you come out there and check it out. It's a great event. Trust me, it is a great event, great family event. Bring your kids, bring the family. We'll be out there, the ADNC team. And if you haven't heard nothing about that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and cue that up. We'll be right back.
It's the Unity Reunion Parade, Cookout, Line Dance Party, Backyard, Barbecue, Fish Fry, Vegan Soul, Black Business, Food Truck, Networking, Outdoor, Concert, Music, Festival, Celebration of the Year.
It is an amazing experience. You have people from all over the country.
This is my second year attending, and they over-delivered.
So if you haven't come before, you need to come.
And you know what? I'm just out here vibing.
Get tickets now at OhioBlackExpo.com.
I stayed longer than I should have. Not because I was weak, but because I loved for real.